Hello, moderators. This is Southern 207. Just give me a little bit of an update. For those few of you who have me on Facebook, the snow is gone. We had an additional 2 inches last night, and it was a nightmare here. My brother was down in Virginia Beach, which is an hour and change drive from here, and to the north of me was pretty much total and utter chaos. From Fredericksburg, Virginia, clear to Petersburg, and actually as far west as Danville, Virginia, had over a foot of snow and ice and slush. So needless to say, the whole state was under a state of emergency because actually, after reviewing the snowfall totals, it went as far west as Roanoke. Which, mind you, I'm close to Norfolk. If you're familiar with Norfolk and Western, look on a map from Norfolk, Virginia, which is actually the Lambert's Point coal docks, which is the XNW coal docks, the Swells Point yard, which is about another 4 miles, or 2 to 3 miles east, or further east, which is now a giant business park. A little tidbit for those people who didn't know. That whole area was mainly getting rain, but the storm stretched from Roanoke, which is about 7 hours west of me, clear to Norfolk, Virginia, and not as far north as Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is about a 3-hour drive from where I'm currently sitting. So yeah, fun times. It was so much fun. I didn't even think a barrel full of monkeys at a dynamite factory would have had less destruction going on. But anyway, a little bit of an update of what's going on. Getting ready to start going down this coming week. I've got a couple tables I gotta finish building for a train show coming up. Plus, I have to talk with my buddy about getting some pegboard. If he wants me to go ahead and rebuild his pegboard racks for the show. Because let's face it, if you're a distributor or a dealer and you use pegboard racks, damn things take a beating. Especially when you're hauling a whole lot of stuff in an Xterra. Yeah, a little Nissan Xterra, which now he just upgraded to a trailer, so yay! 20 tables worth of crap. And believe me, if he doesn't have it, he can find it. This is Boston and Albany Hobbies, which I also got in touch with B&B Hobby Supplies this past week. I want you guys to send a prayer out to his wife, Bill Acorn, or Alcorn. His wife has the C word. And she's already undergone surgery, but it's still in the early enough stages where if they catch it with chemo, it can be stopped. All we can do is keep her in our prayers. But they also suffered a flood earlier this year. That was the dealer I showed you guys, B&B Hobby Supplies up in Bridgeville, PA. That storefront is gone. He is still available through that phone number. But what's going on now in the next coming couple weeks is I'm also going to start work on the yard ladder reconfiguration, which Cheryl, as soon as the track work's reconfigured, be expecting a box in your coming to you. And then might probably go into a turnout building spree around the first of the year. Because I got about 70 turnouts to build. Man, a Fast Tracks jig would be a world of help. Number 6, or even hell, even a set of point form tools. We're getting the frog sure form point tool from Digitrax would be a huge help in that construction. So if anybody has an Engage one that's willing to let me borrow it so I can knock all the frog points out and all the switch points out, I'll make sure it comes back to you in good condition. And Mike from Florida, I forget your last name, but I will be sending you your engines in the next few days. It's been pure chaos down here. And trying to get to the post office, you might as well stand on a damn roller hockey rink outside. In some areas, it's been nothing but a slushy, nasty mess here. And it just seems like every time I go to do something always comes up. I know it just seems like crap hits the fan, but it's life. And I can only do what I can do. And in case you're wondering, I'm still working on getting a vehicle. But finding one in the price range I'm looking for is going to be a shot in the dark. I'm actually looking for about 1990 or newer F-150. Or even a little Ranger. I don't need much, I just need something to get me around. But the other thing is, since I had those blackout spells, I now have to fill out paperwork every 3 months. Yay. Gotta love DMV for this BS. And I have to do that for the next 4.5 years. And as far as other things going, I still got the Richmond show coming up in January, and I still have the Tidewater Virginia Beach show, which is normally the Hampton one. But to be quite honest, I'd rather do Virginia Beach any day of the week. Cleaner and nicer venue. And I'm also going to have probably do a couple things using JMRI, because I finally figured out that this tablet can receive Bluetooth, which that's also a netbook. And yes, I didn't get JMRI installed on it. The biggest thing is on tablets, you have to make sure you install the latest version of Java on them. But it's not that difficult to install it once you understand it. Now, what I'm about to show you is basically the semi-complexity that Digitrax can offer, but at the same point, how easy it can be. Sound loader. Then you got Digi PL2 2.2, which is for the current versions of Digitrax software, which one, if you buy the newer stuff, you don't even have to send it to Florida anymore to have it upgraded. You send that down to it. Then there's also a LocoNet monitor, which uses the PR3 or PR4, whichever version you have. Then, of course, everybody's favorite, Decoder Pro, which Arthur Houston III on YouTube has a video on how JMRI is set up for ops, which you use that through Panel Pro. Once I get back into it, I might go and set up my cars again, which I'll show you guys how to snap photos and add the cars into the picture. So when you're doing switching, which one nice thing with this I have 3 smartphones, so that means I got 3 additional throttles to my system. I just have to make sure it all can talk together via Bluetooth. And once I figure that out, then I can start the real fun part. Full-blown signaling. Which, with Panel Pro, you can do, it helps you out with the signaling setup. In fact, this is one of the programs that they recommend. That, or Railroad Co, I believe, is the one for signaling also, but I've used JMRI Panel Pro for signaling in the past, and it's worked flawlessly. But that's a little ways down the road, unless I get lucky this around New Year's. I can finally get all the components I need. Which, there is a few new parts, which I don't know if you guys follow for those of you who do not follow Digitrax, I'm going to show you in a quick little video. Well, not video per se, but the thing. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I'm sticking with Digitrax for the signaling. They have the N-Scale, well, this is several of their new products. They have an auto reverse module now with built-in detection. And for around $50. The PR3 or 4 is $89 MSRP. Which, of course, and this is just showing you guys what's out there for N-Scale currently as far as decoders. And, of course, the power supply. That's the big one, the 20 amp one. One of my next major purchases, LocalNet Wi-Fi. Which is one of the things I plan on getting. This is the one for most modelers are going to need. And I got one of these puppies on order. It's basically a combination of a PM42, which is Digitrax's short circuit management, and their BDL 16 or 168, which is essentially a detection thing, which, as you can see, it has 8 occupancy detectors. There's the first 4, there's your second 4, and then in the center is your power track commons, which it's basically 2 pins. Once I get around to it, I'll do a video on how this all hooks up. It's actually fairly straightforward. But in case you're wondering right where these are for, these 2 pieces here, they come with a little test board. You plug it in. First 2 pins on either side, here and here, are your power, which These two pins are your track A and rail A and rail B, which is basically your left and right rails. Then you have your common, then your ground. The ground's a very key thing. Without the system ground, this will not work. That's the one thing with the Digitrax detection thing. You must have ground, a functional ground around the whole layout. Plus, the ground also reduces electrical interference coming in from outside sources. But as far as some of the other stuff I got for it, I got the cables and all that go with it for it. Come on, stupid computer. And then, of course, there's the reversing module I was just showing you guys, which both of those essentially incorporate. The first one I showed incorporates two of these guys. I have one, but I have to send it back to Florida. There's a glitch with the board. This is one of the new products. This is their new signaling system. Well, accessories to their signaling system. You basically get a couple different style signal heads. Which, the beauty of their system, you can clip the mast itself off and solder wires directly to it, thus installing your signals. You can install your own signals accordingly. This is actually a cheaper end kit. You can get the same one off of Mauser, a lot cheaper than what they sell it for. But this is their main signaling decoder, which also acts as I found out I can add 8 slow motion switch machines, i.e. Tauruses, to that board, as well as run signals off that same board. So that's going to save me money in the long haul. But there's how the signal mass base kit. That's for crossover indications. This just goes to show you some more of the accessories. But their system is extremely flexible on that end. But I have the JMRI latest edition, which is 4.12, which I'll highly recommend you guys go install that. So you can make life a little bit easier on setting up your locomotives. Plus, if you have any issues, it'll help you tweak it. Because I got a few engines of my own I need to go through and tweak. Yeah, this is not a good thing to see. This dealer here, Dale's train station, dealt with him in the past, and all I can say is, holy crap, was he expensive. He basically, when you go in there, you better have a couple gold bars. He's got a hell of a selection, but you're gonna pay for it out the nose. And I have a dealer that sells it to me at better prices than I can even get it on Amazon. Because he gets it direct from Digitrax at a discounted rate because of the volume he sells. And that's pretty much it as far as what I'm going to be working on. But if I can get the JMRI working over Bluetooth, that will be a coming video on how I did it. So this is basically just a quick update. I got another update that's in the works, but the cold weather here is kind of throwing a monkey wrench into the works here. Because, one, it's been only in the mid-30s here. And first off the bat, I haven't been sick since I moved down here. Other than that infection I had. Since that, I've been cleaned. I've gotten myself better. And I've been healthy. So, basically what's going on next is getting back to doing some more plaster work, which I found out the plaster I'm using sets a lot faster than what I was expecting. And when I say sets, I'm talking to where it's hard. The finished surface is hard within a matter of like 20 minutes or so. But it's hard to believe we got plasters that set that quick. And that was plaster of Paris. It normally doesn't set that quick. Now I use cold water, which is supposed to retard how fast it sets. Which for a point of recommendation for anybody wondering on plaster, the colder the water, the longer your work time. The harder the water, the shorter the work time. With exception, do not use boiling hot water for common sense reasons. You'll get scalded. And same way with ice water, it's just going to take it forever in a day. It'll seem like while you're carving it. Which, when I do the rocks, I usually have the water in the refrigerator for a couple hours to cool it down so I have longer work time. Because basically when that plaster sets, you're dealing with a chemical reaction. It's a neutral chemical reaction, but it's still a chemical reaction nonetheless. Anyway, my routers, that's all I got for you tonight.